And yeah, Marigo Cat. Over here, that is a old. I'll bring it over. This is a DW snare. It is a 12-inch snare. Most snares are 14-inch. This is a 12-inch snare. And I actually, about 2 years ago, bought a used Gretsch Catalina maple drum kit. And to my surprise, this was a second snare that came with the deal. So yes, it is a DW maple snare, 12-inch. I can pop it on over here. I've used it in the past as my side snare. Right now I have as my primary snare an SJC Apollo, which is their black nickel over brass. I believe it's a 7-inch deep snare, 14 inches by 7 deep. And then over here on the side, I have another SJC snare. It's a maple snare. It's again 14 inches by about, I think, 6.5 deep. So yeah, so let's give a listen since we're talking snares for a second. So my Apollo snare is mic'd up with lots of sound on here, so I love the sound of it. But a couple things to keep in mind. I have a mic here. I actually have a mic underneath it, getting close to the snares. I've put quite a bit of work onto the snare. Actually, since we're talking snares for a second, if I take off all of the EQ, all of the compressor, and all of the chroma reverb, here is the raw SJC Apollo snare. So here you hear it. There's the raw snare. If I pop the EQ on that I worked on, just to give you a little EQ, pop the compressor on, you can probably hear a little hiss there, raising things up. So my softs and my lows coming through the ears really well, playing over the tracks on YouTube. And then this chroma reverb effect, giving it almost, as I call it recently, the Def Leppard sound. Sounds like I'm playing in a massive stadium. I like it. I can take it off if no one else likes it, but yeah. Watch, let me turn off chroma reverb again. What do you feel? What do you think? Off or on? Natural? Or live? Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's amazing what the difference is. And it's just me messing around with some sounds. The SJC Maple over here doesn't even have a mic on it. It's on my to-do list to get it mic'd, but I've got overheads and so many mics in this room, you hear it well. With a loud ping. And hey, while we're here, let's see how this Evans, let's see how this DW sounds. All right. We'll take this SJC off for a second. There you go, that guy. You can go here for a second. Yeah, I like the live sound too. I put a lot of experimentation in it. I was like, this sounds good. And we all hang out on Dan's stream and listen to how the master does it. And I was like, this is getting close. All right, so here's the DW. It's not mic'd, but you'll hear the room mics on it. I love the snare. And I mix it up. So usually I have 2 drum kits, one here, one in another practice place. And the one in the other practice place, the primary setup is I have a Pearl Chad Smith steel snare. I've had it for as long as I can remember as my primary. It's got a very dry drum head on it, but it serves a trick. And then I put this as my second snare or my side. So I'll leave it on there for a little bit. See if I can play a little bit with that for the next song. So yeah, I love giving these guys some different sounds here.